to make the coffee. Today's flavor is hazelnut, and I'm going to have it with chocolate creamer. So today's high is going to be 70, no, that's wrong, 67, that's what it is. Right now it's like 58 degrees. It's pretty chilly out. So the next couple days are going to be chilly and cloudy. So, but then it's going to warm up a little bit, and that's going to be kind of the last of the cleaning up the garden. So I'll be glad when that's over and done with. I have to trim a couple of my rows of Sharon. They're done blooming now, and now's the time of the year to bloom or to cut those, and so we don't ruin the blooms for next year. So I have a doctor's appointment today. Seems like I used to have my regular practitioner, my primary care doctor. He used to do treatments and things too, whatever you needed. But it seems like in today's healthcare system, your primary care doctor basically just gives you referrals. Like, oh, I have a problem with my digestion, so he'll refer you to a gastroenterologist or whatever. So it seems like one doctor's appointment, if there's anything that you have concerns about, snowballs into a bunch of doctor's appointments. At least that's what I find to be true. Now, I'm on straight Medicare with a supplemental. And I know there's a lot of cheaper plans out there, but I've been on that for years, and I've never had a medical bill, and I've been on Medicare since I was 65. So, I don't know, I guess it's a trade-off. You pay now or you pay later. But on straight Medicare, I don't have a copay or anything, even for specialists. Now, Medicare Part D, I think, is terrible. It, it doesn't pay too much as far as medications go. And that's how a lot of these plans get you to sign up for them, is, they have a better medication program. And also they have eye and dental, but I find that, and of course the cost of Medicare keeps going up and up, but I don't know. So some plans, I guess they even give you an allowance for free groceries and things, but I don't know. For now's the time when you have to switch, if you're going to switch, and then you're stuck with it for a year. So I think I'm just going to keep sticking with the regular Medicare for now. Now it's not cheap, and like I said, every year it goes up. So they give you an increase on your Social Security, and it's eaten up by Medicare right away. So anyway, that's the world we live in. Cheers. Did you guys watch the debate yesterday between the vice president candidates? I found it to be very interesting. Well, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. So anyway, since I have that doctor's appointment, I can't dilly-dally too long here this morning. So I will meet you over there. Okay, here I am back at my budget book. Yesterday I didn't spend any money, so yay me. And last month I didn't spend on 18 days, and I spent on 12. So not too bad. So this month I'm planning on not spending a whole ton of money. Unless something else goes awry, who knows. But I have 2 birthdays this month. My oldest grandson who lives here with me. He has a birthday. He's going to be 22. Oh my gosh. And then my daughter, she's going to have a birthday too. And we were thinking about maybe going down to Amish country for her birthday. We both like it down there. But we'll see. We have to see how the weather is. And she's very busy. They're still redoing their house. It was a complete reno. So, and that's the reason why my oldest grandson lives with me, because they had to live with she had to live with the in-laws. They all had to, and he didn't want to live there with that particular grandma, so he wanted to live here with me, and that's where he's been, and I like it that way. So, anyway, but yeah, that's what we're going to do, I think. I'm looking forward to that. That should be nice. I don't think the leaves are going to be turning by then, because I don't see a whole lot of activity going on with that yet. Some of the trees are starting to drop their leaves, but I don't see a lot of beautiful color going on. So anyway, that happens usually like the third week if they start of October. And then sometimes once they start to turn, depending on the weather, they just fall really early. You know, it's like, okay, they're beautiful, and then it's like they're gone. So that's one thing that I don't like about wintertime, is it's all so gray and brown, and it's just not a very pretty season unless you get a beautiful snowfall. We do get that, but I'm not a fan. So anyway, I'm not going to talk too long here on the budget book. My generator is supposed to be coming today. Of course it is, because I have to go out. And they want you to tell them where to deposit it, because it's a bigger item. I hope it's not too big. But hopefully my grandson will be home and he can have them put it in the garage. So, okay, well, I'm going to get going here and start getting ready for my appointment. Oh gosh, here we are already in October. I don't know where this year went. So, cheers. Let's talk a little bit before I go for my doctor's appointment. So, I want to read a quote from M. Prefontaine. The quote's not from him, the book is. So it says, "Remember, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent." That's so true. You know, if somebody's picking on you constantly and telling you that you're not good at this, you're not good at that, and trying to make you beneath them, that person doesn't really care about you. They care more about themselves. So it's best to have little interaction with that person. Let's put it that way. And I like this one. The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. And sometimes kind of ties in a little bit with the other quote that I read. Sometimes friends or even family members, whether that's your parents or your spouse or you know, they don't have the courage sometimes to do what it is you want to do, so they do their best to discourage you from doing that thing because it might not fit into their agenda. Let's say you have a partner and you're into, you know, gardening, and they're not. So they try to do everything to discourage you from gardening because they want you to do the things that they like to do. So, but you need to follow your own dream, you need to follow your own North Star and do what it is that you feel in your heart that you want to do. You know, and if it's, whatever it is, painting or whatever. Don't let other people stop you. And don't be discouraged if it doesn't work right the first time or the second time or the 100th time. If it's something that really speaks to your heart, then keep trying, keep working at it. I believe that God has given each one of us a mission here on earth, and He's given us those talents and resources to follow that path. I got a frog in my throat. Hopefully that helps. But anyway, He's given us the resources to follow that path. And sometimes the resources just show up at the oddest times. You'll start talking about what it is you want to do, and the more you talk about it, the more people that come into your life that are able to help you along that path. And I think that's what happens with a with a lot of successful people, is that they surround themselves with successful people that they can glean knowledge from. So, and of course then there's always, education, whether that's going to school, but a lot of people that have become extremely wealthy have learned from their own reading. Most of them are voracious readers. That's like, I'll use Elon Musk as an example. And as a kid, he had a very, very traumatic childhood. But he read all the time, anything he could get his hands on. He read and read and read. And, I have no idea what his IQ is, but he's a genius. And I don't know if that talent pushed him towards doing all that reading and learning, or if it's something that he acquired after all the learning. I mean, some of it is. So figure out how you can get to whatever your goal is, whether that's taking a class, and it doesn't have to be a class that costs a lot of money. Not everybody has to go to college. Sometimes a vocational school will help you along those lines. And if you have talent, I believe it doesn't really matter what your credentials are. Now, I know a lot of jobs and things like that require a certain degree to even get your foot in the door, but there's nothing that says you can't start your own startup or you can't go on your own path with your dreams. But you have to continuously learn, and you have to become passionate about learning what it is that's important to you. Like, in gardening, I do a lot of reading about how to plant this, how to do that, what to do to the soil. And I also watch a lot of YouTube videos, which is a really good resource for learning things. If you want to fix a plumbing issue, there's probably a dozen things about plumbing. So anyway, there are inexpensive online courses that you can take. They're all over the place, and YouTube is very good for education. YouTube has, some of its issues, like with the algorithm. If they don't like what you say, they don't push the video out. But you can learn a lot of things on YouTube. Or just, ask somebody if you want to be a carpenter. Ask a carpenter if you know one, if you could just shadow them and learn some things about that. Or maybe volunteer with Habitat for Humanity. They do a lot of charity work for the less fortunate people, and you could learn some things there. So, yeah, I really do believe that God has given us a mission, and I believe that He gives us the tools to accomplish that mission. Pray on it, you know, if you're confused and you don't know which direction to go. Pray on it. Now, I'm sure one prayer probably, you know, it might work, but, you know, it's probably a constant thing, and it'll also focus your thoughts and your ideas on that particular thing that you're requesting from God. So, and if you don't believe in God, well, whatever your guiding thing is, but I think it comes from God. That's my opinion, and, you know, talk to God. You don't have to formally pray. At least that's my thoughts, you know. I talk to God all the time. So give it a try. See if that works for you. So the longshoremen are on strike. Hopefully it won't last too long. Like, we need something else to ruin the economy. I was watching a video. I forget what her channel is. But she has some really, really, really good videos. She does a homesteading channel, and she has a lot of tutorials on there, from bread to planting to all kinds of things. But she also has a ministry, and she said in one of her last videos that she thinks because the dollar, they're trying to get the dollar out. By they, I mean the powers that be, that it's kind of all tied together to bring down our economy. And whether you believe that or not, it kind of made a little bit of sense to me, but I hope that's not the case, and I hope they resolve it very quickly. But who knows? So I hope you have enough provisions. I've been saying for a long time to please stock up, have a pantry, have some things for to take care of yourself, you know, a heat source if you need it, lights, something you can cook on. If you at least have those three things, you should do okay. But it's not too late, you know. Go buy a few things before the supply line gets disrupted, and you should be okay. And as a family, you know, you can get together and pool your resources. If you don't have the space in your house or apartment or whatever, and you have family, you could make a, what would you call that? Not like a collab. I'll use that for lack of a better term, where you all store food together as a family. You don't have to live together, you know. If you have a child, or even if you have a friend that has a bigger place to live, and you contribute some money or some cans of this or flour or whatever it is, you can do that as a small community, family community. So anyway, those are just some ideas that I have this morning, and fingers crossed that everything gets resolved quickly. And let me know in the comments below what you think. I mean, keep it nice, you know. I like opinions. I don't mind having a little bit of a debate from people, as long as it's not, you're this, you're that, and blah, 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 you know. When I get comments like that, I just delete them, you know. It's like, why bother? These people just, you know, they don't get it. So, anyway, I have to get dressed now and get moving, and I'll be back later. I'm going to harvest my lion's mane mushroom, and I'm going to cook that, and we'll see how that turns out. All right, I'll be back later. Look at this lion's mane. It's huge. This is the second bloom. And over here I have more. I'm going to try and cook these up. I had to look up how to cook them. And apparently you can make mushroom steaks out of them. The taste is really good. It's got a really sweet flavor. So these are perfect to pick. So, and hopefully they'll continue to produce more blooms. That would be great. All right, well, here is the first time I'm going to try to make an oyster mushroom steak, and look how big that is. So this was one of the cast iron frying pans I was going to get rid of, and I'm glad I didn't. It's like brand new, but I'm going to repurpose it and use it to press the oyster mushrooms, because you kind of have to flatten them out from what I've seen. So, okay, here goes. Like I said, I've never done this before, so don't be afraid. Just go ahead. If you make a mistake and they don't look real pretty, well, you know, just don't invite company until you master it. So, okay, I've got this on medium high, and now I'm going to go ahead and just put this on top of the oyster mushroom and keep pressing it until they flatten out, and then I'm going to decide what seasoning I want to use with this. So I picked the oyster mushroom before it got real furry, for lack of a better term. So I'm just going to keep doing this and cooking it and see how it turns out. So I'll be back. So okay, I turned these over and they're just starting to brown. So I'm just going to keep pressing, and I'm going to keep cooking them until they're nice and brown on both sides. I'm going to go season the bigger one with some of this Grill Mates. This stuff is really good, the hamburger seasoning. I like it, and it's almost gone, so I'll need to buy some more. And McCormick is expensive. I should see if I can make my own. And this one, these two, I'll put a little bit more fish seasoning on. Now I could put some seaweed on the smaller ones to give it a little fishier taste, but for now I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and I'm going to turn this big one over again. Nope, not ready. So I'll just keep that one cooking longer. And it looks almost like these small ones are almost done. They're nice and brown. But the bigger one needs some more cooking. So back under the frying pan. Okay, the little ones are done. But I'm going to continue cooking the big steak, the big mushroom steak. See if it's ready to turn. Now I'm going to add some butter to the pan in a little bit, and that will definitely brown it up. I'm excited to try this. I'm going to go ahead and add some butter, and then I'll be back. Alright, I'm going to season this. Put the frying pan back on, and I added a pat of butter in there. So I'm going to cook this another 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll give it a taste. Okay, well, it's done. I'm going to swirl it around in the butter. And oh my, look at that. Oh, that looks so good. All right, I'm so happy I didn't get rid of that frying pan, because I thought about it and I thought I can use that in my pizza oven. So there we go, and that's going to be my dinner for tonight. But I think I am going to eat the little ones right now. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to try the big one. I'll eat that one tonight. But the little ones I seasoned a little differently. So let's see if these taste anything like fish. Maybe. I love experimenting. I love playing with my food. So that's what it looks like inside. Almost looks like chicken. Smells great. Very chewy. Very sweet. Very savory. I could see where you could substitute this for fish. I think that would work great. It would be even more like fish. It definitely has that texture of shrimp or lobster. And I think adding some seaweed to it would be perfect. So I'm going to eat these two little pieces. If I wasn't growing this, to buy the mushrooms is over 10 pounds or $10. So I'm hoping that I can grow some more. But we'll see. It's an experiment. I don't know. Well, I'm going to finish enjoying this and I'll be back. All right. Well, dinner was absolutely delicious. I would definitely make that again. The mushrooms themselves are very expensive if you're going to go buy them at a specialty store. But that's why I said I'm hoping to grow some more. So we'll see if I get a third bloom out of it. It was a nice big clump of mycelium that I bought at the farmer's market, and it was, I think, $20. So, you know, it was worth it. And it's fun. Growing mushrooms is fun. So anyway, all is good, and I hope all is good with you guys. For those of you that are victims of that huge storm that blew by with all the damage it did, my prayers go out to you and your families, anybody that's been impacted with that. It's just horrible. It's like things just keep on coming and coming, you know, but be strong. I think this too shall pass, one way or the other. And it's going to be a crazy, crazy year coming up, I have the feeling. But I don't know. We have to keep praying that everything resolves itself and that everything is going to be okay. Put your faith in God. And sometimes we have to go through a lot of trials, even as a country. It's not just individually. Countries go through these things too. But I think this nation was built on their trust, the trust in God. I think that's what our forefathers had in mind. And I think some people have just turned away from that. And I know that a lot of people are having a come to Jesus moment, and going back to the Lord and putting it in God's hands. That's what I do all the time when I have issues and things that come up and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I put it in God's hands, and then not only does that make me feel calmer, and I can trust that it's going to work out for the better good, whatever that might be, because we don't know. I mean, you know, we're just mere humans and we don't know. So keep the faith. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.